Okay, grade 9, welcome to your third last Reachback video. We only have 2 weeks left of school. Next Friday is your last day of school, so not many left. So for those of you who are still doing it, I applaud your efforts. Thank you for following along, and here we go with your answers to this video. The first question says 4 1/5 take away 5 1/10 is greater than -1. Is that true or false? So the difference between this type of question than you would have seen in grade 7 or grade 8 is the fact that you are taking away a larger amount of fraction than you started with, which means your answer is going to be negative. But the algorithm or the procedure that we're going to use is going to be the same. So I'm going to change both of these to improper fractions. This is going to be 21/5 take away 51/10. Now that we have them as improper, we're going to find common denominator 10, which is 42/10 take away 51/10. Our procedure is to subtract the numerators and keep the denominator. So 42 take away 51 over 10 is going to be -9/10. So our answer when we subtract them is -9/10. Is -9/10 greater than -1? The answer is yes, it is. It's true. Because the closer a number is to 0, the greater its size. So -9/10 is closer to nothing than -1 is, so it's true. Question 2. We have a decimal of 2.4 take away 4.65. Is that going to be a value that's less than -2? We'll see. So here, if I thought about it as an estimation, I estimate it as being +2 take away 5. My estimation would be -3. And if I wanted to keep flip change here, I can actually think of it as an addition of a -4.65. So what do I have more of? Do I have more negatives or more positives? Well, I have more negatives. And the question is, how many more do I have? Well, I'm going to subtract the number of positives from it to figure out how many more negatives I have here. And the answer is I have 2.25 more negatives. So -2.25, is that less than -2? Yes, it is. So the answer for question 2 is true. Question 3. Now here we have the square root of a mixed fraction. The square root of 11 1/9 is equal to 3 1/3. When we have mixed fractions, we always said it's easier to find the square root of an improper fraction, which would be 100 over 9. Because once we have it in this form as opposed to mixed, we say what fraction multiplied by itself is 100 over 9? Well, our numerator would be 10. Our denominator would be 3. So therefore, the square root of that is equal to 10 over 3, which is, as a mixed fraction, is 3 1/3. And therefore, the solution to question 3 is true. The square root of 11 1/9 is 3 1/3. Question 4. We have this graph here. So if we were to make a table of values for this graph, x and y, the ordered pair for this is 0.5 for the x value and 2.5 for the y, or is it ordered in our table 0.5 for our x, 2.5 for our y. This one is 1, 5, and this one here is 1.5 and 7.5. Oops. And 7.5. That's the first 7.5 I've ever seen. 1.5 and 7.5. So from the table of values, the difference here is 2.5. The difference here is 0.5. So 2.5, the difference in y divided by the difference in x, or the slope of our line, is going to be 2.5, or $2.50 divided into piles of 50 cents. You can make 5 piles. So therefore the coefficient is 5. And as we can see from this one here, that we are multiplying the x value by 5 to get the y value, so there is no constant. And therefore that is our equation, 5x equals y. Question 5. -2x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. So just grab this and bring it down here. We're going to isolate the variable just like we would in inequality. But remember, when you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative value or multiply it by a negative value, you have to flip your sign around. And therefore, all values that are less than or equal to 1, this is saying all values that are less than or greater than, or equal to 1. So therefore, your answer is false. The correct solution would have been solid line, this one. All values less than or equal to 1. Question 6. If we isolate the value for this, so now we have variables on both sides. And when you have variables on both sides, it's easiest to get rid of it on the side that you have the least amount. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. Give me 3x minus 5 is equal to negative 20. Add 5 on both sides. 3x is equal to negative 15. Divide by 3. And x will be equal to negative 5. Will it be negative? Yes, it is. Therefore, it's true. And finally, your last question is an algebra question with fractions as constants. Let's make this a little smaller. Shrink it just a little bit here. So the first thing I can do, you can do one of two things. I'm going to keep it simple by adding a half to both sides. And x plus 1, a fifth of that, is going to be equal to 4.5. I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. X plus 1 is going to equal, if I use distributive property and multiplies by 5, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times a half is 2.5, so 22.5. Subtract 1, x will be equal to 21.5. Is that greater than 20? Yes, it is. So your final answer to this question is true. All right, thank you, grade 9, for paying attention to the video. Only 3 more questions or reachbacks remain. Good luck to everybody. Maintain good social distancing. Wash your hands frequently. And as always, don't let those boomer parents of yours drive you crazy.